Welcome back to my channel. I am so excited for today's video because I am testing out the brand new Cricut AutoPress 2 15 by 15 inch. If you're new here, I'm Kayla and I've been creating Cricut content since 2018. I've used a lot of heat presses over the years, and when Cricut reached out to me and asked me to try their Cricut AutoPress 2 before launch, and they asked me to give my genuine impression of the machine with no script at all, I was really happy to say yes. It's launching today exclusively on Amazon for $379. I think the price point is pretty good. It's very similar to two other heat presses that I already own. I try my hardest to give my most comprehensive review for these type of videos, so I hope you find this helpful, and let me know what you think in the comments. Let's get into the video. Let's get the Cricut AutoPress 2 and its control pod out of the box. Cricut designed this machine to be powerful, yet make it easier and faster to create projects, so I cannot wait to test this out. The first thing that stood out to me is you can adjust the pressure to 220 pounds compared to HTV Ron's AutoPress 2, which caps at 170 pounds. I love that this has even more pressure. You can adjust the pressure in 5-pound increments, so this really gives you a lot of control. I think this would be especially helpful for puff iron-on or heat transfer vinyl, which tends to be very finicky. This just gives you more adjustment options. That makes this machine great for all kinds of materials, even DTF transfers and sublimation, which I'll be testing out. I've also found that when I have a good amount of pressure on my projects, they last longer in the wash. To connect the control pod, just plug the cord into the back. Here's a look at the Cricut AutoPress 2. I think Cricut is going for a more sleek look for their machines, and I really like it. This is no longer a clamshell design like the original AutoPress, and that is to give this more pressure. I do like that it has a full slide out tray. This just makes it easier to load projects without touching the heat plate. The heat plate is 15 by 15 inches, which is an upgrade from the Cricut AutoPress that was 15 by 12 inches. This is the size of the other heat press brands I have, so I'm happy to see Cricut increase theirs because it's just a good size for pretty much any project I need to make. It comes with a pressing pillow, which is pretty standard for any heat press, but I love that it has some little grippers on the bottom that keeps it from sliding around. I will say with Cricut's machines, they put a lot of thought into details like that. Now let's set up the machine. In the instructions, there's a QR code you can scan. It goes to Cricut's app and you can sign in. It tells me to power on my machine, then I will select connect. It'll do a software update, then it's ready. I'm not sure if you can see it, but the little red in the top corner, it's showing the time heating up just like it does on the control pod, so it shows it on both. Before I get into a project in the app, I want to show you how the control pod works. The very top is the temperature setting. You twist the dial on the left and it goes all the way up to 410 degrees. Press the center to set it, then you can select your time. Then you can choose your pressure setting. The right dial has 4 presets: puff iron-on first, then iron-on, DTF transfers, and infusible ink. I love that you can also override these settings. Let's say I use these settings all the time. I set it to that. I have my right dial in the first mode, then I press the left dial down for 5 seconds to save the setting. To turn on the auto mode, you press the right dial down for 5 seconds and an A will appear. When you push the plate in, it'll automatically press and unpress. If you want to stop the press, you can just push that right dial. For my first project, I'm going to add heat transfer vinyl to a tote bag. I place my heat transfer vinyl carrier sheet side down. I made the design 8 inches wide, and I used the everyday iron-on setting that will automatically mirror the design. Once it's done, I weed out the excess vinyl. I power on my machine and it connects directly to Design Space on my iPad. You can use your phone as well. Then I select my material, which is Everyday Iron-On, and my base material, which is 100% cotton. What's really cool is this will send those settings straight to the press, so I don't even have to mess with the control pod when doing this at all. It also tells you exactly what to do. So right now it says to preheat the blank. I press the tray in, then hit the go button. The machine will automatically press for those 5 seconds. I placed my design down. It needed some heat-resistant tape to stay in place. You want it flat, so I moved the straps out of the way a little. I push the tray in, hit go, and it'll automatically press it for me. The heat plate has even edge-to-edge heat. That means you'll get consistent results with this because the whole plate is the same temperature. Now let's see how well the press worked. I removed the carrier sheet and it seems like everything adhered well. Nothing is lifting up. A great way to know if you got a good press is if you can see the material coming through that heat transfer vinyl. And as you can see, I can. So I'm really happy with that. Cricut said this would be a great machine for batch projects, so let's test that out. I have 7 t-shirts that I'm going to be making. I'm going to be using DTF transfers. I think these are great when you're wanting to make a whole bunch of shirts at the same time. You don't have to worry about cutting or weeding anything. I started gardening for the first time this year and I just had to pick these designs. They are just so adorable. My sister and some friends are also gardening, so I'm going to gift them these t-shirts and of course keep one for myself. I do have an entire video on DTF transfers from Cricut showing you how to order and put these together in Design Space, so I'll link that down in my description box. I'm not going to use the Cricut Design Space app for this one. I'll turn my dial to 3, which is the preset for DTF transfers. I have the auto mode set on, so I think that'll make it fast to swap out each t-shirt. I preheat the first t-shirt. I ended up doing 10 seconds instead of 5. Cricut does recommend pre-washing your t-shirts, even though obviously I didn't do it here. I like to use a t-shirt ruler to line up my design. One thing with DTF transfers, you do have to put heat-resistant tape to keep it in place, and I think for batch projects that'll slow you down a little bit. It comes with parchment paper, so I add that on top. The machine will automatically do the whole press for me. I let it cool down a little, then I remove that carrier sheet. It adhered really well, and the colors are so vibrant. Now I can move on to my next t-shirt. I just sped this up so you can watch it a little bit faster. I had a thought after I was done to make these batch t-shirts go faster. I should have preheated all the t-shirts at once. Then as one was automatically pressing for me, I could prepare the next one and get it all taped. The rest of the t-shirts, I could kind of see a fold line going down the center, so I'm just going to preheat these normally. Here, I'm just pressing the next shirt. Like I said, if I would have taped the shirt while one of the other shirt was pressing, this would go even faster, but I did find this to be a really smooth process of finishing each t-shirt. I had no issues of any of the DTF transfer trying to lift up and having to press it again, so that's fantastic. I really think that heavy pressure setting makes a really big difference. Let's finish up the last t-shirt. I love how the t-shirts turned out. The designs show up so bright and colorful on the shirts, and it was really easy to make a whole bunch at once. For my last project, I want to test out sublimation. I purposely chose a large, thick hoodie. I also wanted to see how that hood would do when it slides into the press. I placed white cardstock inside just to help prevent the ink from bleeding through. Then I'll lint roll the hoodie. I'm using the Cricut Design Space app, and for my material type, I'm going to select infusible ink, and I'll select a t-shirt for the blank. I'll preheat my hoodie. Even with that hood there, it didn't get in the way. The Cricut AutoPress 2 was able to lay nice and flat on the hoodie. You'll need to add heat-resistant tape to this as well. I do love this tape dispenser. It makes it go a lot faster. I add butcher paper on top, then I'm ready to press it. This supports materials up to 1.8 inches thick, so that's really great for different blanks. Here's how the sweatshirt turned out. I'm so happy with it. The colors look really vibrant, and it'll just be so cozy to wear this fall. Overall, I'm really impressed with the machine. I do believe this is a good upgrade from the original. I love how high the pressure goes and the pressure control, the size being the 15 by 15 inches. I love the AutoPress part of it where it's hands-free pressing. You just press the tray in. If you already have a heat press machine and it works well, I don't think you need to go out and buy it. But if you're looking to upgrade, I really think this is a good option. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this video gave you a really good idea of what this machine is like. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you are new to my channel, and I'll see you in my next one.